PUS'HER, you are moving with purpose. You are speaking with purpose. PUS'HER, we are healing out loud with you. Don't stop, push you forward. Don't stop sharing your truth. Continue to trust God and believe in His plans for you. PUS'HER, we are healing with you. We see you.
Hey, it's girl PUS'HER. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really, say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Did you get your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal? People PUS'HER and Remember Me? Well, you still have a chance. Go over to pusherlife.org, go to the office link, and get your copies today. Right now, people. And while you're over there, take the pledge, healing 1 million people, one person at a time. In all seriousness, I do want you to go get these books and do the workbook. Do the workbook. Don't just get it just for the sake of getting it. Do the workbook. It will bless your whole life. But I really do want you to take time and take the pledge, healing 1 million people, one person at a time. I gave everyone an assignment last week. I said, go tell a friend to tell a friend and bring a friend. And so I hope you did just that on today. As always, chat, I appreciate you for showing up and doing what it is that you do. I see you all, and I am so grateful. But you know, forward ever, backwards never. Who is that? I need to find out who that is. I have a ticket for you because you are the first person that repeated it back to me. Let me see. Yes. You have won a ticket to the Office Expo on August the 24th. So inbox me so that you can get the information. Who is that? Oh, Tahira, you have won a ticket, sweetie pie. So you do not have to pay. I got you. That's what we do in the PUS'HER community. The ticket is yours. So make sure you give me a call so that I can tell you what to do. But you have won a free ticket to the Office Expo, August the 24th. You'll get to meet many men and women. You will be a part of listening to live interviews. You'll get to network and meet so many incredible people. So kudos to you. That's what we're doing tonight, people. I'm feeling like giving some stuff away. And so that's the first person that has received something on this evening. So, you know, I like to maximize every second of every minute in this hour. And so without further ado, I am going to ask this gentleman. I know y'all like, who is he? I don't know him. But he's someone who started from, you know that song, I started from the bottom, then we here. Y'all know that song, but I ain't start from the bottom. But he is definitely a day one when we started, when we built the PUS'HER community behind the scenes. Definitely not just in the chat, but on my line and giving me wisdom and pushing me to make this happen. So it is with honor that I am grateful. And I'm going to ask this gentleman right here to introduce himself and remind others of who you be, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. My name is William Bass. I'm a mental health therapist here in Baltimore. I'm a Baltimore native. Born in Baltimore, grew up in the Woodlawn, Randallstown area, graduated from Randallstown, went to Bowie undergrad, Maryland grad school. So I'm a Maryland guy through and through. Definitely working in my gifts, doing mental health. That's something that I enjoy. I'm a father of one, 23-year-old. That's a quick snapshot of me.
All right. He gave us a quick snapshot. So we oftentimes say that we want to hear from different people. We want to learn. But do we really give space for people to share their perspective, to share what's on their minds, to share what's on their hearts? Do we really make room for that? Or do we show up, create the space, and then we are quick to calm back or just respond immediately to what we hear? if I am somebody who believes that two truths can exist in one conversation.
Mhm.
So when I'm asking a question, I'm not all the time asking a question to respond. I'm really asking a question because I genuinely want to understand.
Right.
So most of the time there is no rebuttal,
Right.
no back and forth. Only if clarity needs to be. Am I making sense?
Absolutely. I understand.
So I thought it would be kind of cool from my perspective,
Mhm.
because when you come to the table bringing your own perspective, then there is no room for a misunderstanding, or even if you don't understand and you can't get that clarity right away, there's no room for frustration. There's no room. We're not making room for none of that, because we are clear that I'm
Mhm.
bringing my perspective,
Mhm.
what's true for me,
Mhm.
what I think, what's my opinion, what's real for me. And so I just think that it would be kind of cool. And AKA the Godfather, because that is what I call him. So yeah, so my first question to you, and this is not for you all in the chat, this is not man versus woman versus man. This is just simply happens to be a man and a woman having a conversation.
Right. Right. Right.
That's what this is. So I do not want you to hear that. What I want you to hear is the individual thought process, and receive it that way. We oftentimes want to categorize, and the idea is, remember, to heal out loud. So you're hearing in hopes that you can receive something that you can take back for your own personal growth and development. The thing is to bridge the gap, not create a gap. So we got to check our intentions and why we're showing up. If you're not showing up to receive anything, then you're just wasting your time. I'll be the first to tell you that. In any event, my first question to you is what like, this is a vibe. How you think this is like a vibe, right?
Absolutely. Nice. It's a nice setup. Lighting, the seating, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to be out of my comfort zone, because
Right.
I've been doing this for a minute now, and you have been someone behind the scenes at the beginning that kind of pushed me and challenged me to really, if I really wanted to do this or not,
Right.
before I actually did it. And
Right.
so a lot of people don't have the privilege to know everybody that pours into my life, everybody that supports what I do. Everybody has their place, and I know for me, I'm really, really grateful for your voice and your creativity, because you put in a lot as it relates to me and
Wow.
getting me to this point. And so I just want to know, because I'm being selfish.
Right. Right.
So I just want to know from someone not on the outside looking in, but
Mhm.
somebody who really is inside,
Right.
but just not seen.
Right.
If that makes sense. How does this make you feel, or what thoughts that you have?
I feel proud. I feel happy. I feel like you just took the mantle. And even as we were preparing, I saw how you could navigate the terrain with the YouTube studio and the whole YouTube piece. That had to be learned. And I know that because we've had conversations about that. So to just see you just do it, the Nike tagline, just do it, and that's what you've done. And you continue to grow, you continue to evolve. It's nothing but up from here, and I just want you to just keep pushing forward, and just keep doing what you feel led to do, speaking your truth, bringing people from all walks of life on. I mean, it's dynamic. It's growing and evolving. Watch, it's just slowly just taking off.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. So, okay. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I wanted to hear it. Because I need, a little pick me up. And so
Absolutely,
that definitely is.
We all do.
is encouraging to hear, even though I already know that without you even saying it, because you have demonstrated it.
Right.
But I just needed that in that moment. He is super creative. Indeed, forward ever back. Brandy trying to get a ticket. She trying to get a free ticket. Forward ever back was never. Keep bringing all walks of life together. Okay, will do. And it definitely take a village. I'm not doing this on my own. It is everybody. That's why I tell you, come and bring a friend. Tell a friend, bring a friend to bring a friend. Because we don't want to gatekeep the information, one, and because it's working for us. I received an email on yesterday from a young lady who seen for the first time she played back the episode from last week. And in the email, it really touched my heart. It just confirmed to me that what we are doing is real and it's working and people need it. And people are asking for it. And so moving on to the importance of why we are doing what we are doing, which is just simply healing our land. Just simply taking my truths and sharing it in hopes that it will help somebody else come overcome whatever their challenges and whatever their struggles are. What do you say? What do you say to that community of people who don't mind telling their business, putting themselves out there? What do you like? Some people on the outside looking in would say that, well, wait a minute, that's a bit much.
Right.
Speak to that.
Well, I can respect both sides of the fence, right? Because healing and telling one story, it's a very private, personal thing. So I understand that it's strength and vulnerability, and there is freedom in it, in a sense, where you can just share what you've been through. You can share your part of the story. You can share your testimony. Now, the power for me is that somebody else might benefit from it, because that's really what it's about. But I also understand the person that might not be at that point. They might be at the point of, no, I'm not going to tell my business, because whatever their cause is, I'm not going to tell my business. They got to get to that point. They just maybe have not gotten to that point yet, and that's okay. So I respect both sides of it. I definitely would hope that everybody could get to the point where they could just speak freely and honestly about whatever their truth is in their life. But everyone's pace is different.
Right.
And everyone's story is different, and sometimes people feel a certain level of maybe hurt or shame based on whatever their struggle might be, or whatever part of their story that's not really cool, or that they feel would not really sound good. But the truth be told, that's probably the part of the story that will resonate the most with people.
Right.
And the part of the story that people will lean in the most to and be like, yeah, I really needed that. I appreciate that.
Right. I want to ask a question, it's one question pertaining to both genders, woman, man, as it relates to healing. Is there a difference in how men and women heal?
Wow, that's a great question. Is there a difference between the way men and women heal? I would say what's available, well, not necessarily what's available, but what's taken advantage of is certainly a difference. Most of the time, women have other women they can bounce things off of, or it's almost set up where it's a lunch day and it's a lot of talking that goes on. Men may get together around an event, and now here lately in 2025, men are kind of sort of talking a little more. Now from the therapy room, both men and women have a lot bottled up. So it's not necessarily different. It's what men will take advantage of. Will a man attend a group, or will a man attend a session? There's a lot of stigma around that, and even for women, there's a lot of stigma around mental health support. But does healing look different? It's going to vary from person to person. You might have 10 people, 5 women, 5 men, and for 3 of the men and 3 of the women, it might look very similar. And then for the other 4 people, it may be completely different. So it kind of depends. You know, I wouldn't say that healing looks different for men or for women.
It's just individual.
Yeah, I think it's very individualized. I think men oftentimes won't take advantage of a lot of resources, but that's improving. Why? Because the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25-year-olds are leading the way. The young people are leading the way. Man or woman, you know, boy or girl, man or woman, they in the therapy room. They coming and they don't got a problem with saying I'm in therapy. My family in therapy. We doing family therapy. The young people are definitely leading the way when it comes to therapy, for sure.
That's what's up. I asked that question. So I'm gonna ask another question.
Sure.
Who cares about what
all the questions? We're here for the questions.
Yes, because you have a lot of insight and a lot of experience, more than me. And so I like to learn. I like to listen. I don't know everything. And I have a twin brother, and listening to him is some things I cannot make sense for him as a woman. And as challenging as that is for me, I have to respect that. And do you see the difficulty, or have you experienced yourself the difficulty of men and women knowing what they can give to one another, especially the way that we communicate? Because again, even though my brother and I grew up in the same household, we had different experiences. And although we are twins, we speak different languages. I don't care how much I want to say we are so alike and we are this. We are definitely different in a whole lot of ways, which makes us unique. But one of the things that I've discovered is I cannot make sense of a lot of things for him that I want to, because I am a woman.
And maybe part of it is that you don't have access to it, because just intrinsically as a brother, because I am a brother, there's that piece where you're going to protect your sister. So as close as you all are, and as much as you all might talk about, one, I might not feel comfortable talking to my sister about this particular issue. 2, I may want to protect my sister from this, because not so much it'll make me look bad as a brother, but I just don't even want her I don't want her worried about it. I don't want her in the weeds with it, you know, wondering what's going on. So it could be that component as well. And just on top of the fact that as men, we're not always the most expressive to the people that are the closest to us. Not always. I mean, you've heard it said a million times, just how men are socialized, you know, just don't show weakness, don't show any form of anything, of vulnerability, of anything that somebody can use against you. That's pretty much, I think, how men across all cultures have been socialized. And it's 2025, so it's kind of evolving, it's kind of changing somewhat. But just in general, I think that's how men have been brought along, you know, fight it out, drink it out, sex it out, get money it out. Just a lot of different ways that are probably not going to be best.
Right.
So I think men are turning to therapy, men are turning to spiritual outlets to get a better understanding and clarity on life.
So good. And if you in the chat, if you have any questions, you know what to do. You know what to do. If you have any questions, because trust me, he's gonna have an answer. He is gonna have an answer. So if you have any questions, this is coming from his perspective. So whatever the question is, bring it. He is willing to answer. You already told me. You got a question, I have an answer. So more personally about you, what made you made mention that you are a Marylander and you are a therapist. What made you get into that particular field? Because in that particular field, it really reflects healing. It really is a part of someone's healing journey. Right. Doesn't have to be all the time heavy, right? Medium, doesn't matter. But what motivated you to get involved?
Well, first, if I'm completely honest, I was running for math. So I was looking for a major. Because I had to declare a major. And they said, look, your time's coming up. You got to declare a major. And so social work seemed like a viable option, although you still had some math you had to do. I said, well, it's the lesser of the evils. It was a lower level math.
Wow.
But then once I got into social work, I began to see my gift skills, my talents align with this. But it wasn't really until grad school that I said, okay, this has been my life story, and this is where I'm supposed to be. So I didn't know until I started grad school. I didn't know that I had lived with a mother who had mental health problems her whole life.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Wow.
In my whole life, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Until I began to learn certain things. And so I learned and I said, wow, you have the coursework in front of you. This is my family. You get to see some of the things you're learning. You see, wow, some of this dysfunction, this is my family. And so that drew me in, obviously. Unfortunately, I lost my mother during Thanksgiving break of grad school.
Wow. So
we had a chance to have a few conversations based on what I had been learning, but then I lost her at a very young age of 50 years old. It was actually Thanksgiving Day of Thanksgiving break, the little few day break that we had. And I mean, from that point on, and I just want to give a shout out to my professors and people who were assigned to work with me. People look out for you. You got to pay it forward as best you can. You know what I mean? And they checked in on me, made sure I was good. They were accommodating. And I mean, just little things like that make a difference in my life. Because a different scenario, there's a different scenario where you could fall away from school, or people could make it unnecessarily difficult on you, and that wasn't the case. So I'm grateful for that.
That's what's up. Y'all hear that, kids? Stay in school. There is still people out there, teachers, professors that is out there, and they got your back. They're not just showing up to get a check. They really do care. So stay in school. Get your education no matter what is going on. You can do it. Push through. Push through. In the chat, someone says, how can people keep a space safe?
Well, the safest spaces are going to be non-judgmental, are going to be accepting. And by accepting, I don't necessarily mean that we have to agree with everything that someone's saying, but accepting in the sense of, I may understand that I don't understand. And so understanding that there are different perspectives. So in that way, the safest spaces are definitely going to be non-judgmental and accepting. And the safer spaces are also going to have good communication, good communication in the sense of one person speak, the other person speak. You know what? This conversation is getting a little bit, it's getting a little animated. Let's take a moment. Let's regroup. Let's come back. Or you know what? Maybe this isn't the environment or the day for this particular conversation. So the safer spaces are gonna start with those components.
Okay. We have another question. What advice would you give to POC that are dealing with changes from the current administration? See, I automatically thought protective custody.
Now, POC is people of color.
I know, I'm just being
Right.
goofy.
Right.
When I put it together, what I seen administration, but when we see them kind of acronyms, we'll think politics and all that. We think.
Well, my sentiment to that question is the same. That's on a macro level. That's talking about our governmental agencies and our leadership at this time. It's really the same advice that I would give to an individual. We only can control what we can control. And when we focus on what we can't control, that's gonna increase our level of worry, our level of anxiety, our level of discomfort. So if we can kind of accept the things we can't change, focus on what we can. Perspective is important in life. This is really about perspective. We can get all in the weeds and get sick. And when I say sick, I mean, just not feeling ourselves, feeling just defeated. It's about what we choose to focus on. Do we choose to focus on the fact that this administration is what it is, whether we agree in part or not at all? That's a person's right to agree or not agree, but then you only can control what you can control.
Right.
And so limiting access, it's just like I would tell someone who has a family member who's a bit overbearing or too much to bear. The first tool we have in the tool chest is limiting access. Choosing to pick up the phone, being able to cut the conversation short, allowing them to visit, you visiting, we can kind of control those things. It's the same thing with the current administration. Are we watching CNN ad nauseum? Are we tuning into every press conference ad nauseum? Now, once again, we probably can't do much about what's being said, but when we hear certain policies, we hear certain things that are going to upset us, we really are accidentally or inadvertently focusing on things we can't control. We don't have no control over. If we focus, and that's in no way, shape, or form saying that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not gonna focus on that. But I've been that person. I'm guilty of that. I have been that person. I'm not anymore, but I have been that person. So I'm no way, shape, or form suggesting that. Stay up to date, stay current, get your information, but the constant going over and over
don't consume yourself in the information.
Right. It's no way it can be best.
It's nothing that you can really do.
Well, we only can do what we can do. Whatever it is we can do, whether that's starting on a community group level, whether that's starting in our own family, whether that's starting with ourselves, we only can do what we can do.
Right. So in other words, we always can do something.
We can do something.
But it might not be to the level that you want to do it.
Right.
But nonetheless, be satisfied with what you can do.
Be content with where we are.
Okay, people, be content with where you are. You might can't do everything, but you could do something. And with that something, you have to respect it and appreciate it. And others in turn will do the same. I want to go back, and so listening to you, I'm gonna go back up to the safe space because that's important to me. More now than ever, needing my space to be safe, especially when I'm vulnerable, when I'm open, and nobody in the world really knows when you are open and vulnerable unless you tell them. If you are someone of my caliber, I know how to protect myself. How can we? Oh, that's a good question. How can we heal love in the Black community?
How can we heal love in the Black community? Each person is going to have to, well, we don't have to do anything. It would be good if each person could understand where they are before they go out into love, into their profession, whatever the case might be. It starts really with yourself, you know. I think in whatever role we are in, we are lovers in whatever role that we're in.
What you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, I personally believe that when I was a janitor, and now that I'm a mental health professional, I tried to do my job the best way I can.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to interact with people as best I can in whatever declaration, whatever role we find ourselves. So when we talk about healing back love, the battle's not won with a bunch of debates. The battle really is won in action. And if we start with our just what we do every day, our profession, if we can lead with love with that, it's a good chance that'll prep us in other domains of our life, friendships, romantic relationships. Because if we can lead with love in our profession, whatever it is, I mean, as a janitor, I can be respectful of people. I can do my job with respect and dignity and fidelity, and no one can interrupt that if that's what I choose.
Right.
So it's really, I don't believe that the conversation around Black love is won in debates. I think it's won in each person's conviction in their heart, you know, deciding that I want better. I want better for myself. I want better for our community. And so it's won with us deciding that.
Right. Which reminds me, I used to be a janitress. People don't really know that, but yes, I used to be a janitress.
That was my favorite. That was a fun job.
So to all the people who benefited from them clean toilets, holla at your girl. At least say thank you.
I guarantee you were not a better janitor than me. I promise you. I promise you.
I don't want to.
I take pride in cleaning.
Me too.
Okay, well, you might have been as good, but that's just I just always think nobody was ever a better janitor than I.
I'm gonna let you have it because I don't want to find out today. I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm done with that. Do not call my phone. I am not doing housekeeping. I am not cleaning your toilet. But for you, those that settle them clean, shiny toilets, smelling good in them public bathrooms, I'll let you go. Just say thank you. Let's
just say I never went to an assignment that I wasn't invited or welcomed back. I mean, asked to come back.
That's dope. I like that.
I'm just saying.
All right. I don't want to pee.
That's the male of me coming out the competition. Yeah.
But,
we both were great.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say that. You were great at being a janitor. What sets it different is I wasn't a janitor. I was a janitress.
Okay, fair enough.
And I was great at it. But no, in all realness, what I can appreciate is that's when I learned. As a janitress, because I felt myself at one time in life like I would never do that. But I felt myself doing that. And I did it. I didn't associate it with, being a lover of things and showing up. I did it because I said, if my family comes in here, I want them to feel like, oh, this is clean. I'm comfortable in here, whether it's a public bathroom or not. And that's what motivated me to initially to start cleaning with purpose. And I used that for many years until I just done it, and I realized that I had some deep conversations in the bathroom.
Right.
I've learned a lot about people in the bathroom. I'm just cleaning, minding my business, and they want to talk. You learn a lot in the bathroom, seriously. But I love when I was a janitress. I appreciate it because so many people, like you said, they will always look for me. They will always look for me. And I appreciated that. And it built trust. It built a rapport with different people. And it enabled me to go in rooms just because I did a great job.
Right.
And people do see that. But I don't want to do it again. We all competitive in love. I'm not competitive. It just is what it is.
I'm competitive. I definitely do that.
She cook you. Oh, gee. Yeah, I would. I would. I do my best to try anyway.
Fair enough.
Love you, Mr. Bass. There is not a time or place that he doesn't answer my phone or call. That is true. That I share that same sentiment.
Love you too.
I'm not competitive. Yeah, I'm not. It just is what it is. I know what I'm capable of. But anyway. Hey, Professor Child, chill out. We have the right to remain silent. Is you telling me to practice my right to remain silent? I love it. Oh, now y'all turning on me. You want me to practice my right to remain silent because it's Mr. Bat sitting up here with this chair. Right. I ain't even talking about him. I'm talking about him, but I ain't talking about him. It's your boy, High Def Tone in the chat, cutting up. He been called you out. He been called you out.
Nah, no call.
You're funny.
No call outs.
You're funny. I'm Professor. You're funny. Anyway, do y'all have any questions? Any questions? Because I do. So even about friendly, not friendly conversation, what do you think of that saying? Women are, what did they say? Women are from Venus and men are from Mars.
I mean, I could agree with that. I mean, we just different. And there's no vilifying. It's just intrinsically, the way we're wired, the way kind of sort of what we need. I think men and women are different.
But do you think we use that as an excuse?
To what?
To not put in the work to come together to find that medium to get that resolution that we need or that peace or to create that safe space.
I think, to be honest with you, when a lot of women hear that men and women are different, I think they can't really hear beyond that. That kind of triggers them when they hear that.
What you mean?
Meaning, like, in other words, I'm saying it in a way where I'm saying it with the utmost love and respect that men and women are just different. But I think whether it's me saying it, whether they're hearing it in a different environment,
or the professor saying it,
I don't think a lot of women really can hear that. It just automatically puts them in a mindset of, well, what a man can do, I can do. It just puts them in a perhaps confrontational or defensive posture when that's not what it is. I've seen that quite a bit. That's why I'm saying that.
No. Now I can admit that the professor in the chat, we're socialized differently. You said it, big.
No doubt.
Based off your experiences to date, what would you say to your 10-year-old self?
Mm.
All right, yo.
I would say just be you. Just be you. Don't try to figure out other people and try to emulate other things. Just be you, big dog. Just be you. You the man playing sports. You advanced at 10 years old playing sports. Just be you.
What you play?
I played baseball. At that age, I played baseball. I didn't start playing football until high school because my stepfather said, and who knew? Who knew? He said it's not safe. You can't play until high school. So I couldn't play until high school. So I wrestled, I played football, and I played baseball in high school, but I didn't play any football before because he said it was to let it count for something if you want to play football.
Wow.
So he didn't let me play football. I didn't. Who knew? With all of these reports now, that might have changed the trajectory of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a young person tuning in, your uncle got this show on or your aunt has this show on, and you think they get on your nerves, they telling you stuff, you tired of your mother saying this, you tired of your grandfather saying that. I just shared a story where my life might have been changed by the wisdom of an elder. And that elder was my stepfather. He said that I couldn't play football until high school. And the reason was because of the injuries that you can get to your neck and to your head. So he said if you want to play it, it's got to count. And he considered high school as counting because that could potentially get you into college and get you on to the next level.
Right.
So it's a value in listening to our elders, even when we don't understand, even when we think they dumb. Because the number of kids that call their parents dumb or their authority figures dumb behind their back or under their breath, I'm sure it's astronomical. But I know we all did it. That's so dumb. That's so.
I ain't do that.
Okay, well,
like, yes, I
did. I
did.
I did it. You know what I mean? But I'm just
Indeed,
encouraging.
I still do it.
Right. I'm just encouraging a young person who finds it hard to receive instruction sometimes. And that young person might be 9, might be 15, might be 35, wherever that young person is, right, along the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
There's a value in sometimes just listening or being still with something you don't really fully understand.
Michelle says, speak for yourself. My mama might watch that.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Brandy says, I believe God made us different with the specific characteristics to balance each other.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, no doubt. It's starting as early as 6. What's starting as early as 6? Y'all trying to
must be the differences.
Oh.
And if I can just say, I don't know how you reading that. I can't see a word from. I can't see not a word from.
No,
so I don't even know how you read that.
So I'm actually looking over there. I'm looking around.
No, both. I can't see either.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't see either. But I don't want to interrupt things, but I just thought that was amazing.
No, it's hard. We live people and anything goes. As I learned, one of the things that I appreciate about this particular community, this particular platform is I don't have to be anything other than myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm not looking for anything to be perfect. And as I learn and grow, even trying to figure this out, mm-hmm. I want to teach it, show it. I want to talk through it, even through when I make little errors, whatever. I'm talking through it with the people because mm-hmm. there are people who want to do this mm-hmm. that may be discouraged. It may be intimidating, and it can be intimidating. It was intimidating for me, but you started. But I started.
That's the key.
Right.
That's the key.
Right.
That's the key takeaway.
I do not believe in a child talking back to me. Where you live at? on yourself before loving anyone. Can we speak on that a little bit? I know that we both are in the field of working with people,
Right.
and I know you hear a lot of stories, and even outside of working, just in your personal life, I know you see, you observe.
Sure.
Do you believe that in this, you are a Marylander? Do you believe that in this state, in the city of Baltimore or abroad, that we suffer from a lack of self-love?
I won't say just Maryland or Baltimore. I think that statement that was made about it's important to be able to love yourself before you venture out to love someone else. I would just add a little addendum to that, is that you put the work in to be able to love yourself before you go into love, romantic love.
So just a little teaser, how do we do that for someone who doesn't?
Well, I think there's a value in having, and of course, it's 2025. Keep hearing people say therapist. The benefit of a therapist is that it's your person. It's your person to talk to ramble with. They should be objective, unbiased, and non-judgmental. That is very difficult to get from your loved ones. In addition to your spouse, your cousin, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your sister, your brother can be confidants. And we're wearing each other out in relationships. That's my favorite cousin, or used to be. That's my girlfriend that's quickly fading. My spouse this relationship is becoming strained because we're dumping stuff on them they don't know what to do with. It's a difference in having an intimate moment and talking to your favorite cousin about whatever you would like to talk to them about. That's completely different than unloading on them your struggles and everything you kind of sort of dealing with. Now, I'm not saying there are no relationships that can withstand that. I'm just sharing with you from the therapy room. I'm seeing an increased level of that, and it's causing significant strain on relationships because people just don't have the tools. They don't have the tools to deal with the fact that this happened to my spouse in childhood, because where I'm from, we do X, Y, and Z. We get our lick back. We go do bop, bop, bop. So you telling a man who's not fully in a space to handle that, it strains the relationship, you know. And I'm saying you telling a man, but it could be a man expecting his wife to be kind of sort of his pseudo therapist or whatever the case might be. It's not I'm not making this a gender thing at all. What I'm simply saying is that it's an increase. It's like an inflection of it, and it's not best.
Right. Dad, I had a thought. I was gonna you said something. Come back to me. Hey, see? I need to have my pen in my pad. I need to be writing this stuff down.
For sure.
Yeah. You said how do you, or not you per se,
a person,
an individual,
yeah.
How can you recognize when you are treating your friends or your spouse as your therapist? How can an individual recognize that to stop it?
Well, it takes self-awareness, you know. I mean, you really got to have self-awareness and some insight. But it's a couple different ways. Or what's the frequency of you calling this person or reaching out to this person? And what's the whys? What are the whys? Is it always to tell them about your problems? Is it to pour into them sometimes? Is it, hey, let's go, we missed our coffee date for the past 2 months, let's go? Like, it should kind of be a balance of, so if you are self-reflective of why I'm reaching out to someone, might be a friendship, might be significant other, whatever case might be, that might give you a little insight. But then also, here's a big telltale. You feel that they acting funny or they act in a certain way. A lot of times, people just don't have the bandwidth to say, I really can't handle all this. This is really too much for me. So just because they're acting different or acting funny doesn't necessarily mean that you are misusing the mantle or you're giving them too much. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It might, though. Right. It might, because nothing is always just one way. You know what I mean? It might be. Right. It might be that someone is a little overloaded.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I guess that's probably why I was pondering on it for a minute and trying to formulate my thoughts around it, because if we're not careful, and I'm just trying to reflect in my life, my own life, coming up, I've had plenty of therapists. But I'm just trying to reflect in my life, have I made people that I was in relationships with, my sister, have I put people in those places of a therapist? And when I look back, I can honestly say I simply don't know. They would have told me that,
right?
If I was a bit much.
And that's a fair statement that you're making, and I appreciate you saying that. I don't know. I would have to ask them. But why? Because it would vary from person to person.
Right.
People's capacities are different, right? Understanding how we land, it's going to be different from person to person.
Right.
But just in general, self-awareness is important because it'll help us understand how much am I putting on this person or into this relationship. It might can't bear the weight. Right. Yeah, it maybe can't bear the weight.
Right. I am definitely one who supports having a therapist. I have a therapist, and I don't make room for caring if my therapist cares if what I say sounds educational, if it sounds right. I don't make space to care about that. I need to get it out raw, uncut, whether it makes sense or not. I just need to get it out of me. And sometimes, for me, utilizing my therapist is really so that I can inhale and exhale. And what that looks like for me can vary. But I definitely encourage people to definitely get tapped in. Women who have been violated by men struggle. Can you speak to that?
When you say struggle, you mean with the therapy aspect of things? Yeah. Well, a lot of times, the therapist-consumer relationship is a close relationship.
Or they struggle with their making their friends their therapist.
Well, we can speak to both because it's very similar. Yeah. You know, the therapist consumer relationship is a close relationship, and it's important that it's a right fit, right? It's important. Be it a woman who has endured a certain level of trauma, maybe it's violations, be it a man who has endured a certain level of trauma. It really doesn't matter if it's the therapist is the same sex or the opposite sex. What matters is, does the consumer believe that this is a good fit? Because same-sex therapist, opposite-sex therapist, if I don't think this person is trustworthy, if I can't talk to this person and believe that I'm going to get real, tangible useful feedback, then it's just not a good fit. And then you're absolutely right. A person who's been through a lot of trauma, maybe certain violations, truth be told, it's going to be hard to get close to anybody.
Mhm.
People think that if it's a woman, it's going to be hard for a woman to get close to a man. Truth be told, that might be true for some women, but it's probably going to be hard for that person, man or woman who's been violated, to get close to anybody.
Mhm.
And it is true. You get close to your therapist. If the relationship is working right, you get close to your therapist. You look forward to certain interactions. You look forward to certain appointments. Life is happening. Maybe you miss an appointment. They miss an appointment. A couple of appointments have been missed. You kind of miss them because that's somebody who's going to be objective, non-judgmental, unbiased. That's your time to get it out. And so it's really about appropriateness of fit. And if it's not a good fit, it's probably not going to be best.
Wow. How Def said, we can have relationships with people while having a relationship with ourselves. You always have a relationship with yourself. The quality and types of relationships do matter. Miss Joy B says, I get this, High Def. Sometimes I love myself better than I love myself. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so what I'm hearing, the thread throughout this evening, is that as an individual, you are responsible for your own, what you think, feel, and believe. You are responsible for that. And when you open yourself up to the world, to people, you are still responsible for what you think, feel, and believe. You're not responsible for the next person's thoughts, for the next person beliefs, but you are responsible on who you bring on board.
Mm-hmm.
You are responsible for who you want to be in spaces.
Give that access.
Right. It goes back to that. Who are you giving access to?
Mm-hmm.
But you, again, as the individual, is responsible for that. And you said something earlier that resonated as well. You have to be self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I know that having the lack of knowledge of self keeps us in that place of not knowing the remedy first. The most important element is to learn to love yourself, is to learn to see yourself, is to learn to accept yourself,
Mm-hmm.
is to learn to be in a healthy relationship with yourself. You don't know these things because you're not positioning yourself to learn, to open yourself.
And if I may, people hear that all the time. You got to learn to love yourself. You got to do this. You got to do that. With therapy is instrumental in is determining what have been or what are the barriers to all of these things that people saying you should do.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so great.
Mm-hmm.
What are the barriers to achieving those things?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's someone saying, "Oh, you got to love yourself before you go into a relationship," or "Oh, you gotta learn to set better boundaries." All of this stuff is easy said, but it's reasons. It's reasons why, for most people, it's difficult, and it's going to be very individual. And so that's what therapy really is for, to drill down on. Well, you know what? It was my relationship with my father, now that I think about it, that got me in a way of this, that, or the other. And then you can kind of sort of unpack that a little bit and have a better understanding of yourself.
Right.
And so that's really what therapy should be doing. It should be giving us information that then gives birth to tools that we can better navigate life with. And some of it is going to be just accepting. Sometimes it ain't always going to be a tool born out of it. It's just going to be accepting this person is this person. I love this person. it does not seem they're going to change. I can't control that.
Mm-hmm.
I want that, but I can't control that. But I can have some acceptance, and I can figure out for myself how to better navigate the terrain. They may never choose to become a part of the conversation. You might not even ever invite them into the conversation.
Right.
The situation may not present itself for them to be a part of the conversation with you in therapy.
Right.
But you got to figure out a path forward without them. It's not your fault, especially if we're talking about close relationships,
Right.
with siblings, with cousins, with parents, with grandparents, and there was some kind of fracture or break in the relationship. Oftentimes it ain't your fault. But if you're going to learn to love yourself, if you're going to learn to be in relationship with people, if you're going to learn to be a better version of yourself, it is absolutely your responsibility to drill down and figure out why that sets me off the way that sets me off, so that you can become the best version of yourself.
Wow, this is good stuff, people. And we are running out of time. But High Def said you can't get triggered in isolation. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And what that's simply saying is you can be safe. As long as you're in that room by yourself, you're pretty much safe.
Right.
Because you don't got to deal with people.
Right.
You don't got to deal with people.
Right.
But as soon as you come out the comfort of that room and you go into the milieu, now real life is happening.
Right.
Because someone may not like something, or you may not like something, or whatever your triggers might be, as small or as simple as they might be, it starts to come forward.
Wow. So there you have it, people. I am going to do something with that. You can't get triggered in isolation. I am going to do something with that, because that is something that resonates deeply with me, because I am someone who likes to be isolated, and I know why, and I know where it comes from. So we're going to definitely tap into that. Do you have any? We're going to have to do a part 2, people. We are. I respect your time. I respect my time. I respect his time. And I definitely respect everybody else's time, which means I have to end on time, only because I know your expectations. And I know y'all will hang out with us, but I don't want to keep you past. Do you think both people dating should have a therapist? All right, so before he answered that, in closing, I'm just gonna tell you a few things. August the 24th, from 3 to 6, there will be an authors expo, where you can meet different men and women authors. You will be able to see live interviews. You can purchase books and things of that nature. You can network. Just because these men and women are authors, they also have different things that they're doing out in the community where they are. And so you can come out and network. I'm trying to do something different. I'm stepping out my comfort zone. I'm going into rooms alone that I normally wouldn't go in. I'm meeting people. And because of that, more opportunities are being created. And because opportunities are being created for me, I, in turn, want to extend them to you. Why? Because I don't want to gatekeep. I don't want to keep it to myself. Thanks, guys. Very enlightening. Yes, please, part 2. Yes, we definitely will do a part 2. I'll get on his calendar and see when I can get him on my calendar so that we can do this. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have High Def Tone sitting right next to him, because I like their energy and I like their conversations, and I think that the two of them together can bring a lot of information, a wealth of knowledge, and they're my dudes. So there you have it. So in closing, can you speak to do you think both people dating should have a therapist if it's necessary? Because it goes back to what you're saying. We treat each other like we are each other's therapist.
We if we said yes, if we said no, we'd be sweeping with a broad brush.
Oh wow.
And so I believe the correct answer is it's about values. That's what dating / courtship or whatever it's supposed to be about, is how do our values align? And I guess my question back, and you're not really supposed to answer a question by asking a question, but my question back is, if one person has a therapist, is actively in therapy, and the other person doesn't see the value of therapy, is that a person that you proceed with?
So that's your thought. The words from the Godfather. The words from the Godfather. If you missed that, I'm gonna ask that you play it back. Because that was deep. That was deep. In closing, Mrs. Prince says that would be the show. Manpower, we need it. Indeed. I myself personally have a lot of information, and a lot of information that I get is from women. I am opening myself because I believe God is enlarging my territory. And I know in order to protect my territory, I need some strong men in my life. I have some strong men. I need to tap more into them to keep me protected. Again, I don't have a lot of experiences like everybody else. And I am not one who is unashamed to admit that when there is a need. And I know in my life that there is a lack, and I want that fulfilled, because I don't want to continue on without that balance. And so I will definitely work on that to have both of them back. And apparently everybody else does. So we will do our best to make it happen, because this is not just my platform, but this is everybody's platform. And the goal is to heal out loud. That's always the mission. But it was very, very important for me to take time and breathe and just listen and hear. We oftentimes talk so much that we miss the opportunity to grab a hold of the information that works personally for us. And so sometimes it's good to put yourself in to practice, like Dominique Blake said to me earlier, practice your right to remain silent. And so throughout, these different conversations, we are going to be practicing our right to remain silent, because who you talking to? We can't hear you. You're going to have to go in the chat and chat. But yes, Brandy, I seen you. You've been on it tonight. I think I'm gonna give you a free ticket too, because you've been on it tonight. Yes, God is amazing, and we know that for myself, that I can't do anything. I refuse to do anything. Take one move without first acknowledging the reason for my season that I'm in. Indeed. And so with that said, I will see you. I don't know. I may see you next week, or you may get a pre-recording. I don't know. I have not figured that out yet. And so I want to just thank everybody for showing love. I want to give a special shout out to my companion. Keep her in prayer, that she will remain steadfast and strength and continue to be strong. But also knowing that when you just need to not be strong, it's okay. When you need to just sit down and take a moment, it is okay. But I want to give a shout out to her. I'm so proud of her. She's doing this thing. She's doing it like I've never seen it done before. And I am standing beside her. But I just encourage everybody to keep her and her family in your prayers as we go through these troubled times. But as always, trouble don't last always. We will see a brighter day, even though it's raining outside. The sun will come back out, and we know that it will pop back out, because then we're gonna start complaining that it's too hot and the sun need to go somewhere. So nonetheless, we always have a reason to smile. We always have a reason to show gratitude. But more importantly, we have a reason to love ourselves. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Do something special for yourself this week. Today is Wednesday. You got Tuesday. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do something special for yourself. Just to demonstrate your appreciation for yourself, because you're always showing up, especially if you are in a people business and you're showing up for people. I want you to show up for yourself and do something for yourself. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pick a day. I don't care what it is. If you give it to yourself, if you treat yourself and you appreciate it, so will I. But do that for yourself. In the meantime, between time, we out of here until next time.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Yes. Appreciate it. Is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal and people pusher? No, then travel over to pusherlife.org, go to the author's page, and you will find It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher. Come tap in.